Okay, hello. We'd like two volunteers to come up for our interactive demo of multiplayer vibe coding. You?
Back there.
All right.
One up.
All right.
One.
So
The one on
uh,
top.
basically, oh,
Where?
yeah, right over there. So
That's the
So we created a way to basically use something like agentic ID like Cursor to actually have a group of people essentially vibe code together. So like everyone just comes up with random ideas that they think are interesting, and the ID will actually interactively construct from everyone's ideas a program. So we can actually show kind of how our system works a little bit.
Okay, so this is not unlike the other travel one. This is one that we built agentically just by talking to Cursor. And so we're just going to give you a little demo of the app in its current state. So we just put in like the name of the city and the country, kind of the types of things that you like to do, and then you just click to get travel. Make sure this is on the right. Okay. Do you want to choose a city?
Moscow.
Moscow. Okay. Do
I mean,
you have any special interest?
I answered. Yeah. Okay, that's the topic. And then
Vibe coding.
Vibe coding. I don't know if it's going to be able to suggest that. But... Okay, why is the it's not working.
oh, yeah.
Let's try this one. Yeah, let's go.
You know, this is using the web search on Maestro, but thing that we want to illustrate is that as a group, we can change the entire structure of this application just by talking in a group. So we're transcribing our speech into essentially requirements that then are fed into the prompt. So then the entire application will change. So we will make this very simple looking application that's like grabbing information. So this allows essentially you, without knowing any code, as a group to create um, application with Maestro agentically. So every part is agentic. So now we're going to show like the editor. Um, so
To be a part of this.
this so we're using Cursor with an extension that allows us to have multiple people see the same exact file. So you can see all of us and we can type here. And if any of us make a local change, it will actually change the files here. But we can also converse together right now. So all of us are now going to just have an open-ended conversation and it's going to change the application. So I want you guys to think of requirements of how to change that boring application into something more interesting. So everyone get close and start talking about, well, yes, just start talking about interesting ideas you have for this application.
I think it's too boring. It should have unicorns. What is
Yeah, I vote also for unicorns.
I mean, I think like the unicorns should act as characters that sort of question the locations, like and tell you secrets about the locations.
They could guide you along as you're like journeying towards your destination.
could be a scavenger
Yeah.
hunt where you try to find the unicorn.
Can you organize a quest on the trip
It gives you
with
quests
like
for each area.
points? With points? And can I compete and be better at
And
traveling
also
than all of
use like glass morphism and like add cool shading and like change up the entire layout, make it more avant-garde.
But maybe some unicorns will be in 3D.
Yeah. Oh no.
Okay. So now it's transcribed everything that we've just said, and it's using it as the prompt for this now. So we just type raw text there. And so now it is thinking. We can get that. So if you scroll up, so as you can see here, it's come up with a bunch of, from just our unstructured conversation, it's come up with a bunch of ideas. So it makes it a lot more fun to create applications with your friends because you're just like riffing off of each other, like, what if this existed? What if that existed? Instead of, in a very boring way, going to GitHub, you just kind of talk about it and then have it start to generate the code. We can actually go live to the site and see how it generated it. So now we just send the build command and basically it starts building everything. So this unicorn advisory travel application is now being built. And then if we go to the application, oh yeah. And basically, this is how you take 100,000 people live in real time and create an application swarm that builds an emergent artifact. So this has never been possible before, previously with software, because it's been very boring, because game designers are not developing the IDEs. But now things can change. So it's not going to do the 3D one. I don't know.
It made a unicorn guide
It did make a unicorn guide.
with the personality too.
I don't know what's going to happen to the unicorn.
Should we take questions?
Oh yes, questions.
Yeah.
Just
While we're waiting.
Maestro is grabbing all of the location information from the web related to the query and the rest of the application. So it's grabbing like information about like the city and trying to find obscure information. So it's like crawling through different sites and trying to find interesting things for you.
You might think of it as like an application builder, and so Maestro just fits an application to do and give it change to be something about it.
If you want it to, it will grab stuff about unicorns and then it will modify the Maestro prompt to actually start running for information for that.
Yeah.
And we said a lot,
We
like
should launch.
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. So
Other questions?
other questions?
You guys research like it's actually hard to publish this extension store.
So this extension is called Open Collaboration Tools, and it's actually open source. And so we were working on modifying it. We weren't able to modify it to like have the transcription and auto put the transcription directly into the chat yet, but that was sort of our intention was to basically integrate it all into one thing. So you can be on Discord, and then there's a Discord bot in your channel, and it's listening to your friends and you, and then it's creating the software for you. It gives you a link and kind of sends you the software that you're creating. So
The ultimate goal is to have it as you're vibe coding, constantly branch off different ideas and show you what each one would look like if it was like compiled and working.
Yeah, in addition to capturing audio, we also talked about having video of a whiteboard. So you could be whiteboarding your idea, diagrams, mock-ups, whatever, and it's capturing that and then in the background kind of building that out.
We had really lofty goals.
basically taking away the arbitrary obstacles between like communicating natural creative ideas and really just like at the semantic level, kind of just taking away the computer and the ID and kind of seeing like, let's just see what comes at us. And then vibes. It's just vibes. We're calling it massive multiplayer vibe programming or multi-vibing MVP. Um, it didn't make such a long
JS.
Just getting to the unicorns.
Oh, the 3D unicorn.
3D.
Yeah.
So under the hood, it's using a cursor rules file. If you want to like show
Oh, yeah.
off that a little bit, which is really interesting. So cursor can have a bunch of structured rules for the code that it generates, and even have like a way to onboard people onto the code base. It should be right over there. So like all the questions there, but also all of the default ways that, for instance, if you're using a particular stack, you can actually force it to use that particular stack. It creates strategy files that you can then edit that like essentially get used to inform everyone what's happening concurrently. Maybe we should have recorded video, but I think it should have updated though if it like saved the file.
You guys can like come back whenever it's generated.
Yeah,
Just
when,
meet
when it's
people.
done, like, all right, let's let someone else like hop in. The vibe is too much.